Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Monday. um, it's funny, we were talking Thursday for the guys that were in class about how life sometimes throws us curveballs and we just have to adapt and move on. Well, this is one of those times. We've been tossed a nice little curveball here for the next week or so. I know some of you were worried about your projects that you didn't get to present, you didn't get to finish them up. Guys, it's just being delayed. That's all. Okay, we'll get right back to it when we come back to class. Um, don't sweat that stuff. That's minor details. We'll handle that. No problem. You're not gonna get a bad grade or anything. Okay, just we'll just adapt and move on. Okay, so please don't sweat that. That's the least of your worries. Um, Same with the experiments that we were going to do. We're going to do them. We might cut down on the number that we do for time, but we'll get it done. We really will. You're not going to miss out. Uh, the bad part is we were going to start something new this coming week, light and sound, and we was going to hand you books out, or I was going to hand you books out probably Monday or Tuesday. Guess what? You're not going to be here Monday or Tuesday. And we can't go a week without doing science. So what we're going to do is I will just scan the pages and put them under your classwork. You'll find it, kind of like I do for handouts and things of that nature for you guys that have been remote some. And if you remember the day that we did a remote practice run, so you're going to find that under your classwork. The pages will be scanned in. They'll be there Monday morning waiting for you when you get up, get ready to get going. Same way with history. We're going to scan all that in and have it there, the questions. Remember, there will be two different assignments. There'll be one for the handout, the reading material, and then there will be a separate assignment with your homework questions. And I usually try to label those if I don't forget. Handout and homework questions, so you'll know which one to click on first. Okay. Um, let's see. The videos, for whatever reason, for me, is probably something I'm doing, but at least they're showing up, so I'm happy. They're showing up under the stream page instead of under classroom or classwork page like they did in the past. Again, I have no idea what I did, or even if it's me, probably is. But just look under stream page and you'll see the video, classroom videos and all that. So that's about it. And now we're just gonna start here going over your reading, and it's what are waves, okay? And we've talked about this in astronomy, and we're gonna talk about it again in marine biology just a little bit because we have covered it pretty well this year. And I did that little, you're going to see an experiment up at the top of your page, and it's how do waves travel? And it was taking just a pan, you put some water in it, and you tap it with a pencil eraser, and you can see the water moving. And I was going to try to do that and tape it, or film it here. And as I was trying to do that, it's just, you can't pick it up via video too well with me trying to hold it and do it. But just to let you know it does work. Obviously, you poke one end of the pan with a pencil and you can see the water moving. So I floated a ping pong ball in it and did it on the end that I started poking with the pencil. And the ping pong ball, of course, the energy from the water, the waves, moves the ping pong ball to the other end of the pan. So it would have been really cool to have been able to demonstrate that to you. It's a simple project or little experiment. If you want to do it at home, you could. It takes no time and really no material, but it's up to you, okay? If you don't, we can do it when we all get back together. So I'm just going to start going through the book here. We're going to talk about different types of waves and the way they travel. And I'm going to emphasize a little bit of what your questions are going to entail, okay? And it just starts off talking about it was a long swim, but you're resting on the swimming raft in the lake. You hear the water lapping gently against the raft, and the sun warms your skin. Suddenly, a motorboat zooms by. A few seconds later, you're bobbing up and down crazy. You've probably done that before if you've ever been out in the water while a boat went by. And although the speedboat doesn't actually touch the raft, the energy caused by the waves in the water makes that raft move up and down, okay? That's why if you ever go to the beach and you go boating, you'll see no wake zones, basically saying slow down, don't make waves come out through here and crash into the other boats that might be docked to the docking there or whatever. But that's because the waves do get the waves transfer in with the energy, okay? So you can see and feel the water waves when you're on a swim route, but did you know that many kinds of waves affects you every day? Sound, light, all that, okay? Sound is a wave. Sunlight is a different kind of wave. Light, sound, and water waves seems different, but they are all waves, and we've talked about that before also. It's kind of like God hit on something that worked, and he's like, why reinvent it? Okay, we just want to let everything kind of travel in waves here, okay? So a wave is a disturbance, okay? Remember that. A wave is a disturbance that transfers energy from place to place. And then in science, if you remember, energy is defined as the ability to do work, okay? To understand waves and think about swimming, the swimming raft, a wave that disturbs the surface of the water also will disturb the raft. The wave's energy lifts the heavy raft as the waves passes under it. But the disturbance caused by the wave is only temporary. Okay, and after that wave passes, the water will calm back down and the raft stops bobbing up and down, okay? So what carries waves? Most kinds of waves need something to travel through. Sound waves travel through air. Water waves travels along the surface of the water. A wave can travel along a rope, okay? We've demonstrated that a couple times. The materials through which a wave travels is called a medium, okay? The material in which a wave travels is called a medium. Gases such as air, liquid such as water, solid like the rope, all acts as a medium, okay? So waves that requires a medium to travel through are called mechanical waves. So if it needs a medium to travel through, it is a mechanical wave, okay? But not all the waves requires a medium to travel, okay? Light from the sun, for example, can carry energy through empty space. Remember, we talked about how light can actually travel through a vacuum. It's actually faster. That's when it says it's fastest, is when it's in a vacuum, because there's nothing for it to bounce off of and hold it back. So it doesn't have to have anything to carry it. If the light cannot travel through empty space, you cannot even see the sun. Waves that can travel without a medium are called electromagnetic waves. That comes up in another chapter, okay? How do waves transfer energy? Although mechanical waves travel through a medium, they do not carry the medium with them, okay? And you look at the picture of the duck over here. If you've ever been just out in the water riding the waves, you will just, as you get further enough out, I mean, you can do the body surf thing and come in if you get caught by the wave and you ride it in. But if you're just out, the water is going up and down, you don't really move other than up and down, okay? The wave comes by you and just kind of leaves you alone, okay? And that's kind of what the duck in that picture there doesn't actually travel with the wave. After the wave passes, the duck just returns to the water where they started, okay? So why doesn't the medium travel along with a wave? All mediums are made of tiny particles. When a wave enters a medium, it transfers energy to the medium particles. The particles bumps into each other, passing the wave's energy along. Okay? To understand this, it uses an example of think about how you pass food maybe around the table. Okay? You pick up the rose and you pass it to the guy next to you, and then he takes it. The food is going around the table, but you're not. You're still in the same place. Okay? So you're the medium, but you're helping to pass it. Okay? What causes waves? Energy. Okay, energy always is required to make a wave. Mechanical waves are produced when a source of energy causes a medium to vibrate. Okay, and a vibration is a repeated back and forth, up and down motion. Excuse me. When a vibration moves through a medium, a wave results. Okay, think about sound. If you play guitar, you pick that guitar string, what you're doing is you're vibrating that string. Well, that string then is using the air as a medium, and it's it's separating the air particles, okay? The air particles are compressing, and then they're going out hitting other air particles, and they compress, and you go out and hit other air particles, and that causes the sound that we hear, okay? Most objects have energy. A moving object can transfer energy to a medium, producing waves. For example, you can make a wave by dipping your finger in water. Your finger has energy because it's moving. When your finger touches the water, it transfers energy to the water and makes a wave. In the same way, the motorboat slices through the calm water, transfers the energy of the water, and it makes waves, okay? And then we talk about the different types of waves. If you'll notice, when you get your handout here, the reading that I'm going to scan in for you, it shows you a thing over here talking about angles. And you guys know a circle is 360 degrees, and a right angle is when you come down and across, right? And it's a 90 degrees, and that's a right angle. That's also is referred to as being perpendicular, okay? This line goes this way, this line goes this way, okay? Perpendicular, okay? Remember that. Waves move through mediums in different waves, I'm sorry. Mechanical waves are classified by how they move. And there's two types of mechanical waves. You got the transverse waves, and then you got longitudinal waves. That's a fun word, longitudinal waves, okay? When you make a wave on a rope, the wave moves from one end of the rope to another, okay? But the rope itself moves up and down or from side to side, okay? So the wave is going this way, but it's also doing this, okay? So it's going straight out, but it's either doing this or it's going straight out and it's doing this, okay? So that's transverse, okay? That is transverse. Waves that moves the medium at a right angle to the direction in which the waves travel are called transverse waves, okay? So transverse means across, okay? Either this way or this way, okay? So remember that is a transverse, okay? Let me find it. Waves that moves the medium at a right angle to the direction in which the wave is traveling is called transverse. Again, waves going this way, but it might be moving here or it might be moving here, but it's kind of going both ways at the same time, okay? And you see that down in the pit. You'll see that on the picture in the book there. Then you've got longitudinal. Okay, remember this also. We've talked about this. When a wave, what is when they crest? Okay, that's their high point. Okay, you're going to see that in your book. Okay, the high part of a transverse wave is called the crest, and then you got the low part is called the trough. Okay, remember that. The low part. You know, crest is when it tops. Trough is when it goes down. Okay. A longitudinal wave shows a different kind of wave. If you stretch out a spring toy and you push and pull on the ends, you can produce a longitudinal wave, okay? A longitudinal wave moves the medium parallel to the direction in which the wave travels, okay? The coil and the springs move back and forth, okay, in parallel. So I just happen to have the handy-dandy let me find it here. The handy-dandy slinky that we play with, okay? Okay, you see that right there? This is what we're talking about being parallel. The wave is moving the same direction, okay? Now, what he's going to talk about here in a minute, he's going to talk about how it's compression, okay? And I wish this would hold up better. I have it compressed on one end, and then you have the opening, then it might be compressed. That's the way sound moves, okay? It compresses, then it goes out, and it hits other particles, and then it compresses, and then it goes out, and it hits other particles. Okay, and that's how the sound moves across the room, okay? So longitudinal waves moves the medium parallel to the direction in which the wave travels. The core of springs move back and forth, okay, to the wave's motion, okay? And you'll see up here, again on the picture once you get your handouts, that part of the spring, the cores are close together. Other parts of the spring, the cores are moved, they're spread out. The part where the cores are close together are called compression, okay? The part where the cores are spread out is called rarefaction, okay? As the compression and rarefaction travel along the spring toy, each core moves forward and back, okay? The energy, and I'm wanting to include some videos. You got about 10 minutes worth of videos to watch for this class. Sorry about that. It won't happen every day, but we're talking about 3 different waves, and they're all short, but they do amount to about 10 minutes. But they're pretty interesting. They're pretty good. All the waves, as compression and rarefaction travels along the spring toy, each core moves back and forth, and back, forward and backwards. The energy travels from one end of the spring to the other, creating a wave. And after that wave passes, each core returns to the position where it started. Sound is also a longitudinal wave. In air, sound and wave causes air particles to move back and forth, okay? In areas where the particles are pushed together, compression forms. In between the compression, particles are spread out, rarefaction, okay? And then representing the types of waves, you can use diagrams to represent transverse and longitudinal waves. Transverse waves like those on the rope are easy to draw. Remember, you've got that resting place, and anything up, it moves like this, and when it gets to its highest point, it's the crest. When it's going down, it's the trough, okay? But the even point here of the rope is called the resting place. You can draw a transverse wave as shown up in the picture at the top of this page. It's on page 10 in our book. Again, you have it on the handout. You think of a horizontal line in the position of the rope before it is disturbed, and that position is the rest position. As the wave passes, the rope moves above or below the rest position. Remember that the crests are the high points. The trowel is the lowest. To draw longitudinal waves, think of compression of the spring toy. Everything's pushed together, okay? And then it's similar to the crest of a transverse wave. The rarefaction of the spring is kind of like the trough, okay? It kind of comes back out. And again, you'll see that picture up there. That's about it. You're going to have some questions. Most of them are just going to be definitions. You will find them in that reading, okay? It's going to be wave, energy, medium, mechanical wave, transverse wave, longitudinal wave, crest, trough, things of that nature. All you got to do is identify it, okay? You'll see it. Again, I've made it multiple choice for you. So you should be able to just click on the answer and submit, okay? And you'll get your grade immediately. Take your time, do well, okay? You don't want to slack off or anything while you're at home, okay? Put your time and effort in, do well on your subjects. And I will see you live and in person shortly, if you watch this before history class today. So I will see you, okay? Y'all take care. Bye.